What a difference a week makes. If you've been watching Foodie and just shaking your head at the screen, then you're not alone. In this video, we'll take a look at what Foodie believes about carbohydrates and what is actually true. For my resources, I'll be using the Haugen's Patient Guide to Diabetes, commentary from a diabetic nurse educator, and my own experience. Years ago, my elderly dad was diagnosed as pre-diabetic, and I helped him navigate his way back to normal range. First and foremost, when it comes to carbohydrate goals, patients need to get that very specific number from their physician, a dietitian, or a diabetic educator. While the U.S. recommended dietary allowance for carbs is 130 grams per day, low carb can be considered as low as 50 grams per day or lower. So it stands to reason that a type 2 diabetic's carbohydrate goals for the day are going to fall somewhere between those two numbers. One of my favorite commenters, Daisy and Me, is a diabetic nurse educator with decades of experience, and this is what she has to say on the subject. As a diabetic nurse educator, we teach patients to count any carbs with meals and snacks to stay within 15 grams with snacks and 30 to 45 grams with meals. It doesn't matter if carbs come from bread, rice, beans, candy, juice, or corn. They are all counted as carbs. She doesn't need meals with 4 to 5 carb options in them because that is when problems start. She is sedentary and doesn't need extra carbs for energy until she expends energy as everyone else does. And that's a really great point. Lately, Salah has been bringing home all of these carb-heavy foods. Foodie's been ordering food online to be delivered, and she's not even going out to the grocery store. When you think about it, that's actually the perfect place for her to get her exercise. It's air-conditioned, he can drop her off right at the door, and she can use the cart sort of like a walker. Okay, so now let's shift gears and take a look at her latest grocery haul. With the guidelines we discussed in mind, let's see what she got. To demonstrate how Foodie is sort of even lying to herself, I'll be interspersing the clips with audio clips from about a week ago.
Watermelon. Watermelon is so hydrating. That's so good for you. Fruit is not, like, I'm trying not to eat, like, really sweet fruit, like, bananas and mangoes and stuff right now until, I get my insulin resistance a bit more under control, but... Oh, this smells good. This smells very banana-y. Oh, yeah, this is how I like my bananas, like, really, a little bit green because they're not as sweet. So bananas, I know you're thinking those are loaded with sugar, but I honestly don't care. I'm on my medication. No, like I don't know, I've been loving bananas lately. I don't know why, but like they're so good. They're just so good. I don't know. And so like I said, with peanut butter, I like to eat them with peanut butter. But yeah, I got 2 kgs of bananas. So, they smell good. They smell like banana.
Now, one thing I find very interesting about these bananas is that they're the perfect example of how starch can turn into sugar. Anyone who buys bananas knows that as they ripen on your counter, they get darker and darker and sweeter. Foodie, that's how you should think of the carbs that you're taking in. They all break down into sugar, no matter what sorts of carbs they are. Okay, so using Daisy and Me's guideline of 15 grams of carbs per snack, you can see that one banana, because they are pretty large, is already over twice that. If you add in 2 tablespoons of the peanut butter she got, that's another 190 calories and 7 grams of carbs. Yikes, that's not a great snack. And when you think about it, at the rate that bananas ripen, why on earth did she get 4 pounds?
Salah picked me up some, oh my gosh, and they were so expensive. Like, they were they were like $9 a container, okay? And he got me a container of blueberries, fresh blueberries, and a container of fresh raspberries. I swear there was no candy on earth that was better than that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at these famous expensive berries. As you can see at Lulu Hypermarket in Kuwait, the grocery store that they've gone to before, these cost 1.485 Kuwaiti dinar. That comes out to 6.63 Canadian dollars or $4.85 US. Not quite $9, foodie. While these are definitely a better, lower carb option for fruit, I don't understand why you would spend that much, especially considering she said that many of them are damaged or rotten. She also plans on dividing them up and freezing them, which is just bizarre because that completely changes the texture. In my opinion, something like these Syrian apricots are a much better bargain. They're much less money, and each one has just 17 calories and 3.9 grams of carbs. When it comes to produce, you can't really go wrong with what's local and in season.
Cook without butter. Ugh, don't even talk about butter. Butter, cheese, greasy effing food makes me sick. Honestly, it does. It makes me feel like I'm gonna barf. Oh my gosh. They always have a special offer on this cheese. You get 2 packs of the Gouda cheese, and it's so creamy and it's so delicious. I love it. Creamy Gouda, yes. I haven't had cheese except on my sub from Substop, but I haven't eaten cheese in since being sick, like last week or more than a week now, I guess. But I usually eat cheese every day and I eat too much of it, so I'm gonna just not eat too much of it. But yeah.
Now, macros wise, the cheese isn't really all that bad for her. She does have to watch her sodium though, because she is hypertensive. The big question is, what is she eating the cheese with? Is she eating it plain, or is she making grilled cheese sandwiches?
Lobster, mac and cheese. I don't know, the thought of gluey white gummy pasta and bread and anything like white gummy gluey gluteny food right now just makes me want to throw up. I don't know, it's gross. I got a thing of whole wheat toast with vitamin D3, whole wheat bread. I know you're thinking, bread. It's expensive because you have to, eat enough fruits and vegetables for it to be fulfilling, for it to be satisfying, for it to be, you know what I mean? So you have to buy a lot of them, and they are expensive, especially fresh. I guess you could buy frozen. I buy a lot of frozen stuff, especially broccoli. They always have, sale on frozen broccoli. I love broccoli. I'm gonna be eating a ton of broccoli.
Remember those really expensive berries? Why didn't she use some of that blueberry money to get this local broccoli? It's way cheaper and better for her. I just don't get it. One of the most frustrating things I see in all of this is Foodie talking about all the tons of good carbs that she's eating. Well, that and Salah bringing home buckets of pretty much just straight up wheat. Carbs are carbs, and these two simply just don't get it. Drop me a line in the comments and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you.